The Federalist era was a time period between 1789 and 1801 under the presidencies of George Washington and John Adams, where America's political and economic foundations were greatly altered.
So again, this happened when Washington was elected on April 6, 1789, with John Adams as vice president. Washington had many key events during his presidency. But one major one was the creation of the cabinet that consisted of Henry Knox as the Secretary of War, Thomas Jefferson as the Secretary of State, and Alexander Hamilton as his treasurer.
Let's take a look at Hamilton's contributions to the Federalist era.
Most memorable thing that he did would probably be BFAT, known to some as, because of its banks, excise taxes, funding at par, assumption of state debts, and terror.
The young nation needed somewhere to put their money, and Hamilton saw this and went forth in creating the National Bank. And Washington approved of Hamilton's plan.
This would seem as a good thing, but it created conflict because it made it appear as if the rich and the government were teaming up, while the poor had no power. This created an apparent separation of power, which would be recognized by a certain man known as Thomas Jefferson. That guy. This is one of the reasons that the parties were made, because of separate beliefs. However, we'll touch on that later.
The second part of the BFAT plan by Alexander Hamilton was excise taxes.
This was not only important because it demonstrated the power of the stronger central government, but because it happened on March 3rd, 1791. It wasn't necessarily the significance of the rebellion that was the most important thing, but how the new national government was able to stop the rebellion so easily with its new standing army.
Funding at par was when the national government took responsibility of the state's debt and paid it off at face value